The activity room's windows are on the second floor who could climb that and pry them open. Plus, there's a teacher on duty who patrols every night. Climbing would make too much noise and get caught. I froze, repeating, "You said a teacher on duty?" Yes, the activity room has valuable club equipment, speakers, projectors. The school assigns teachers to stay from Monday to Saturday until the dormitory lights out. We already contacted the school and know about this. When Lin first enrolled, Love and Tung noticed the delicate, frail girl who always hid in the crowd. Perhaps due to a failed first love in college, he was drawn to gentle, simple girls. Tung, recently graduated with a master's from Japan, had been a lecturer at the National University for a few years without a professorship, teaching 2 elective Japanese culture courses with low enrollment. Lin was his student. Noticing her, Tung spoke to her kindly, sometimes checking in like an older brother. Through these talks, Tung learned of Lin's obsession with the pen fairy. Having studied psychology in Japan, he sensed her mental instability, dreamy eyes, trembling voice when mentioning the pen fairy. After careful planning, Ting succeeded beyond expectations. Lin's fatherless childhood fueled a strong paternal complex. During pen fairy sessions, Tung skillfully guided her, deepening her belief that he was her deceased father's reincarnation, always protecting her. Tung then enjoyed a comfortable period. With Lin's obedience and dependence, he satisfied both physical and emotional desires in the activity room's shadowy corners, under flickering candles and howling wind. But trouble arose. One Saturday night, during a pen fairy session with Lin, Young unexpectedly walked in. Lin had invited her, secretly promising to share her greatest secret. Tung regretted underestimating Lin's unstable mind, but to hide his depravity, he made a sinful choice. He raped Young, took compromising photos to blackmail her, and forced her into the pen fairy game. Young, once a bold girl, became a victim of manipulation, trapped in fear and shame. During interrogation, Hung, furious, punched Tung, knocking him over. "You're a beast!" Tung didn't resist, wiping blood from his mouth with a bitter smile. "But I didn't incite Lin to kill Young. Rape versus murder. I know which is worse. Young was about to graduate. I couldn't let this leak." Lin's statements make your motive clear. Young mentioned wanting a boyfriend and your sick jealousy flared. You hit her, injured her. When Young, terrified and suspecting pregnancy, tried to end this filthy relationship, you decided to kill her, using Lin's mental issues to stay above the law. Tung paled, his voice trembling. "Pregnant?" Hung didn't bother arguing, slamming the door as he left, the iron clang a verdict. Later, he told me he hit a dead end. Lin's mental state weakened her statement's legal weight. In other words, Tung was Lin's dad, but dad wasn't necessarily Tung. Even if Lin said dad ordered her to kill Acheong, it didn't prove Tung incited it. At most, Tung could be charged with rape, but incitement to murder lacked proof. Tung, knowing this, refused to confess, his eyes cold as Hung Kim Lake on a winter night. Out of options, Hung shifted focus to another key clue. Where did the hallucinogenic candle come from? Forensic analysis confirmed the LSD in the candle caused Hun lack of resistance during the murder. Her nausea and fatigue in the recording were likely drug side effects. But Tung denied any connection to the candle. Tung, a Japanese culture scholar, lacked the expertise to make drugs. So if not him, where did the candle come from? Was there another mastermind? The police refocused on Lin, examining her relationships from roommates to club contacts. The results were shocking. Nguyen Thao Mai, Lin's roommate, had anonymously bought candles multiple times via e-commerce platforms. Mai was the one who discovered the crime scene and alerted the police. What was going on? After detaining Mai, the police brought her to the CSU Giffey station for questioning. The young girl, still bearing traces of innocence, lacked the mental fortitude. After a few questions, she broke down, sobbing and confessing. As Lin's roommate, Mai was one of the few who could talk to her, though only superficially. Perhaps because when Lin spoke of her pen fairy friend, Mai didn't mock her like others, instead showing faint curiosity. To classmates, Mai and Lin had no conflicts or hatred. Though not close, they maintained a cordial facade, sharing instant noodles or shampoo. Both lived in the honors dormitory for the language department, with similar academic rankings always vying for the top spot. But Lin was prettier, despite her cold demeanor. Teachers and peers favored Lin, from classroom praise to prestigious scholarships. They haven't seen her muttering mysteriously in our room, acting all high and mighty, Mai thought, her malice rising like waves on H-Tay. This stabbed Mai's pride. At the end of the last semester, both tied for first. But the advisor gave the national scholarship to Lin, the key to Mai's study abroad dream. She couldn't accept it, her resentment a smoldering fire. By chance, Mai uncovered Lin's shocking secret, her ambiguous relationship with lecturer Lee Ving-Dungong. She overheard their conversation in a hidden corner of the activity room after a club meeting. Lin's trembling voice calling Tang Dad chilled her. How could Lin, like this, steal her scholarship? She wanted to expose Lin and reclaim what was hers. My enlisted friends to buy a small amount of hallucinogen, replaced Lin's candle with one laced with it, and hid a tiny recorder in Lin's bag, planning to capture Lin and Tung's disgraceful acts under the drug's influence and submit it to the advisor, exposing Lin's hypocrisy and unworthiness for the scholarship.